Word.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm recording. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mm. So we are studying the teaching mode of architecture major of Chinese vocational colleges under the background of multicultural education, right? So that is our
Yeah.
one. Mm. So teaching mode, right? Bilingual course teaching mode. That is our thing. So background of the study, right? So first thing you have to take it in the one. Under the background of the study, you can say how many colleges are there in that place, right? How many vocational colleges?
So many.
No, you just give the government statistics. Government may be issuing some statistics. Say, for example, 2023, we have 1,000 vocational colleges in that area. 2024, we have more one, right? Like that, you have to, right? You can say how many colleges are there.
Yeah. In the background, I see Chinese have about 100 and
Ah,
101 kilometer 1,300
ah, okay, 1,300. So that you are saying you can show the government statistics. Government will be issuing some statistics, right? This year, this many vocational colleges. So government data you can give, and then you can give the citation also.
oh
So under the background of the study, we need to give more, right, statistics. No need for literature. You gave the citation about the literature, right? So no need for the literature. You just give the government statistics. How many colleges in the particular place, how many things are there in the particular place, like that you have to give.
so I need more current
Ah,
data.
yes, government data, any graph is there, any chart is there, any table is there, all the government website you can take the information and that one you can put it in the background.
Okay, I know, thank you.
Mm. Because background of the study should be full of actual fact, government data.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one you can give, right? So literature review, no need, right? The citation you have given the citation. Say, for example, the role of multicultural education in shaping vocational training. So all these things you have to bring it under literature review.
Mm. Oh, I
Okay.
know. Okay.
Uh, So the problem statement, right? How many problem you have identified?
Uh, four.
How many problem do you identify?
Four problem.
Four problems, right?
Yeah.
So four, okay, based on what are all the problems? Just to say what are all the problems?
The research. Um, research question.
Hmm.
Uh, um, One is for the
Okay, I can ask this way. You gave the research question, right? Four research question you gave it, right?
yeah.
Four research question and four objectives you have given. That is good. Under the research question, you said that the current bilingual teaching model, right, impact students' academic performance and career opportunity in architecture. Correct, right? First
Yeah.
research question. The problem is related to the first research question. The first problem is related to first research question. Because what I am saying is the problem statement, research question, research objective, all the three things should be related to each other. Based on the problem statement, we have to develop the research question. Based on the research question, you have to develop the research objective. Core
Oh,
problem you have identified in the sense that problem must be reflected in the research question and research objective. Because in the research question and research objectives are so good, you have done it well. What happened to the academic performance? What are the main challenges? How many innovative teaching model, right? How can the innovative teaching model improve? What role does multicultural education play in the effectiveness, right? So you developed 4 research questions. And then you, right, to analyze, to identify, to propose, and to explore, right? You have given 4 objectives. All are good, right? All the 4 research objectives and research questions are good, very good, right? The
yeah.
thing is, the problem should be related to this research question and research objectives. You get my point?
Uh, so my research problem based on the I mean is research question based on research problem.
Yes, yes, yes. So based on the research problem only, we have to develop the research question. Based on the research question, we have to develop the research objective.
Okay.
Okay, so now now I'm asking you to work in reverse because you already framed the research question, already you developed the research objective. Now you have to identify the problem. The problem must be related to that of the research objective and research question. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Scope. Okay. Next one is the scope of the study. So for the scope of the study, you have to mention, right? Maybe how many vocational colleges. Who is your respondent? Who is your respondent? Whom you are going to interview or giving a questionnaire? What you are going to do? How you are going to conduct the research?
The students and teacher or leader.
Okay. You are going to interview the students as well as the teachers and
Leader.
leader. Leader means management, management, right?
Yeah.
Top level management. Okay, so 3 groups you are going to interview, right? So how many colleges you are going to identify? That information you have to give under the scope of the study. Or what is your study period? Say, for example, you are going to collect the data from 2025 March to, right? Say, for example, 2025 December or something. So that information you have to give. The period of the study and the number of colleges are you going to study about this one. That information you have to give under the scope of the study.
Uh,
Hmm?
so so I can't the 3 chapter I can't use secondary that I only use first.
No, you can use secondary data, no problem. But if you are using secondary data means how many years you are going to collect the secondary data, you can give that information. Say, for example, I have done the study from 2020 to 2025. So 25 years I have collected the data. Like that you have to give.
Oh, I
Mm.
know.
If it is a secondary data means how many years you are going to collect the data. right? Secondary data means it is a government data, right? So government data, how many years will you able to get the data? Some students will do 30 years because secondary data is freely available. So they will do for 30 years, 25 years, sometimes 20 years also. So how many years? Okay. So that information you have to give under the scope of the study.
Okay.
You mentioned the third paragraph, the study primarily employ quantitative research methods, statistics, all this information you have to bring it under chapter 3, methodology. Okay. Here just to mention about what is the period of the study, who is your respondent. You said students, teachers, everyone. So significance of the study, okay. Practical significance you mentioned, okay. This is also okay. This one no need. Assumptions and limitation, don't want. Okay. 1.8.
Okay.
So that one you just remove it. Only significance you have to include. Okay.
Okay.
Limitations at present don't give any limitation because we haven't completed our study. So don't make any limitations now.
Okay. I know.
Okay. Next one is the definition of the terms, 1.9.
Yeah.
So under the definition of the terms, okay, you gave the key terms, right? That is a bilingual education, multicultural education, vocational colleges. All these definitions you have to give citation.
Yeah.
Okay? You cannot give your own definition. In your research, you cannot give your own definition. Give the definition of somebody else. So you have to give the citation.
Okay.
Okay, say for example, Malarvili 2025 gave this definition like this. Just to give citation for all the definitions.
But some
Hmm.
some definition has I can't find a really man or date.
Oh, the date is very old. Is it so?
Mm, No, no,
Hmm.
it's not very old, but I searched on the net, but I can't find when, where, who told this. But this have this.
Okay. So you cannot find.
Yeah,
You cannot find the definition of whom said. You have to find. Say for example, which one you cannot find? Vocational colleges, you have to find the definition. Just in the Google, you just type vocational colleges. Then you have to put, right, plus.
like multicultural education. This I can't find.
Which one?
The number 2.
Multicultural education.
Yeah.
See, under the chat box I am typing. You can see multicultural education. You can search this way, right? Multicultural education. Hmm? Definition. Okay. You have to put plus sign. Okay. Can you see the chat box? You see the chat box. I am typing. Multicultural education definition plus different author.
Oh, I see.
You can click in the Google, you can get lot of definition by different author like that. I type it in the chat box. Multicultural education definition. You just put the symbol plus. If you put the symbol plus, it will give you a lot of information.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, this is the way you have to search the information. Any information you needed, just to put the symbol plus and then you can type it in the Google. It will give you a lot of information.
Okay, okay. I will try. I will
Uh,
try again.
you can search, you can get definition because these are all very simple terms. You can get the definition. Okay, chapter summary, first chapter. Okay, okay. No need for detailed discussion of this one, right? Chapter one discussing about the introduction, and chapter two. No, 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 no. This one you put before chapter summary. You have to give organization of the thesis. You can include organization of the thesis. So under organization, you have to put chapter 1 discussing about the introduction part, chapter 2 literature review, chapter 3 methodology. I will send you some sample.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So that is one part you have to add. That is one point. Then after that you have to put the chapter summary. Okay. So,
Okay.
so in the proposal defense, you are going to present three chapters. Chapter 1, introduction. Chapter 2, literature review. Chapter 3, you are going to present the methodology. Right. So that
Yeah.
one, you have to say in the first chapter. That is a organization of the thesis, right? Or the structure of the thesis, something like that, right? Some title you have to give, and then you can say chapter 1 will be discussing what, chapter 2 is discussing what, chapter 3 is discussing what. Okay, so this is related to chapter 1. Okay, I hope
Oh,
you can do the corrections, right? Chapter 2 is literature review. So, chapter 2 literature review, theoretical foundation of, okay, bilingual education, okay, then theories of bilingual education. What are the theories? Have you identified any theory? Maulu, have you identified any theory supporting for your research?
uh,
Ah, you mentioned something, right?
American education.
What theory?
Uh,
Swamin's output hypothesis. Oh, theory, you mentioned theory name BICS and CALP. These are all the theories. Maulu, this is a theory
oh,
called output hypothesis. Is it a theory?
I'm sorry. I don't understand what you say.
Under chapter 2, okay,
Yeah.
literature review, you just mention theories of uh, bilingual education, correct?
Yeah.
Page number, I don't know, there's no page number. Theories of bilingual education. So, what are the theories you have identified? You put one table and then you mention summary of major bilingual education theories. What is that?
Oh,
Um,
I see.
is it a theory?
Oh, yeah, this is some theory.
Theory, yeah? Is it a theory?
Yeah, yeah, theory.
Oh, what's the name of the theory?
Uh,
because because you mentioned BICS and CALP. BICS and CALP.
I need to get some explain.
Mm.
Okay, I will change.
You check whether it is correct or not. Huh?
Yeah, I must explain what
Oh,
is BICS
correct,
and
correct, correct.
CAPL.
Yes, yes. If it is a theory means what is that? Because I don't know this theory. So you said this is a theory means what is this theory? And next one you put output hypothesis. So output hypothesis, is it a theory? Output hypothesis. Merrill and Swan. If it is a theory, it just clearly says what is this theory. Hmm?
Okay, I will uh give some explain.
You have to identify two theory, right? Minimum of two theory related to your research. So that
Okay,
from the theory you have to find out the variables, right? Theory is useful for us to support your research. Based on the theory, you have to identify the independent and dependent variables also. It will give a strong support to your research. Okay?
okay,
Identify the theories. After that, you mentioned 2.3 research variables. Okay. How do you identify these variables? How do you identify this variable? Independent variable, and there are so many dependent variable also. Independent variable is many variable is okay. But dependent variable, how you can have four dependent variable. Student academic performance, students engagement and learning experience, career readiness and employment opportunities, retention and dropout rate in the bilingual architectural program. Maybe student academic performance may be your dependent variable. But all the other three variables, whether it is a mediating variable or moderating variable, just to find out. Don't put too many dependent variable. Clear, Maulu?
yeah,
Ah. Independent variable, you have to put any number of independent variable, but dependent variable to be one or two only, not four or five. Because this one, right, the students' engagement and learning experience. So this one may be your mediating variable. Career readiness and employment opportunities may be your mediating variable, like that. Okay? So
okay,
you just, no need to put all the independent and dependent variable under the literature review. You just state the variable, that's enough. Then
okay,
multicultural education and impact on the vocational training. No need to put a definition, definitions and all we don't want. Definition and core principles of multicultural education. Just to mention core principles of multicultural education. Okay?
okay.
The importance of cultural diversity in vocational learning. Okay. Then case studies. Why you want case studies? Case studies, successful integration of multicultural education in architectural program. So this one, just you have to add the literature review. No need to put the case study. Okay. From the case study, you can get some important points and then you can add it in the literature review.
Okay.
So don't put the side heading as the case study. The development of architectural education in Chinese vocational colleges, historical perspective, difference between vocational and university level architecture program. The whatever literature review you are giving, it should be based on your independent and dependent variable. Okay, first you start with the dependent variable literature. After that, you have to discuss the variable literature review based on independent variable. Okay, so
Okay.
this way you have to arrange the literature review.
Okay.
Okay, so identify the theory, arrange the literature review properly. Challenges, resource allocation. You collected so many information. It's good. Arrange it properly. Okay, Maulu?
Yeah.
Uh, Role of technical and then blended learning approach in architectural, innovative teaching method. All these things you have to take it as an independent variable. Then gap, you have identified the gap. Need for more empirical research. Okay. Limited studies on bilingual education. Okay. Need for innovative practical solution. Okay. Okay. Move on to third chapter. Okay, so in the literature review, you need to identify minimum of one or two theory, right? If you are able to identify one theory is also okay. If you are able to identify two theory also okay, it's up to you. Okay, so based on the theory, you have to select the variables, right? Later, if the examiner will ask you, say for example, you are doing the proposal defense, so that time they will ask this question: how do you identify the variable? Okay, they will ask the question, how do you identify the independent variable and dependent variable? So by that time, what is the answer you need to give is, it should be based on literature review. That is one answer. Another answer is, it should be taken from the theories. The variables I have taken from the theories. So that also will support your research.
Oh.
So you need to identify the theory. After that, you have to select the independent and dependent variable. Independent variable is up to you, any number of independent variable, but dependent variable may be one or two. If you want to add more variable in this sense, you have to add as a mediating variable, right? Don't put as a dependent variable. So based on the variable identification, you have to write the literature review. And in chapter 3, you have to develop a model and then how you are going to collect the data, whether you want to do a primary data, you have mentioned it's a quantitative study. So quantitative study in the sense secondary data. So secondary data in the sense how many years you are going to collect the data. Okay? So who is yours? If you are publishing a questionnaire in the sense, who is your respondent? Right? So you have to write chapter 3.
Mm.
These corrections you need to do it in chapter 1 and chapter 2. Then you have to start writing chapter 3. You start writing chapter 3. No need to wait for chapter 1 and chapter 2. Just start writing the chapter 3. After that, we all 3 chapters together we can able to discuss.
Okay.
Mhm. So when you are planning for proposal defense, can we do it on June?
June.
Mm.